Tensions are flaring up yet again between the United States of America and Iran, this time centering around Diego Garcia, a crucial U.S. military base in the Indian Ocean. With U.S. President Donald Trump issuing stark warnings to Tehran and Iran responding with defiant threats, the world watches, wondering if another conflict is about to erupt. But this latest showdown is not just about military posturing. It is deeply rooted in decades of history, geopolitical maneuvering, and Iran's steadfast resistance to Western influence. For over 4 decades, Iran has weathered sanctions, isolation, and covert operations aimed at curbing its regional ambitions. From the 1979 revolution to the nuclear deal's collapse, every chapter of Iran-US relations has been fraught with hostility. The West's repeated attempts to reintegrate Iran into its fold have failed as Tehran remains defiant, forging its own path amid global pressures. Now, with Diego Garcia at the center of the latest standoff, history threatens to repeat itself yet again. Hello and welcome. You're watching Statecraft with me, Geeta Mohan. Recent reports indicate that the US military has moved 6 B-2 bombers at Diego Garcia, and the island has been placed on high alert following intelligence that suggests potential Iranian retaliation against American interests. The island base has historically been a launch pad for US military operations in West Asia, also known as the Middle East, and its use in previous conflicts with Iraq and Afghanistan underscores its strategic importance. Trump, known for his hardline stance on Iran, has issued a direct warning stating that any attack on US assets will be met with a disproportionate response. In return, Iranian leaders have vowed a crushing response to any American aggression. Iran has long been a resilient player on the global stage, from surviving economic sanctions to enduring war and political isolation. Tehran has maintained its sovereignty despite relentless Western pressure. One of the most crucial moments in modern Iranian history came after the 1979 Islamic Revolution, which overthrew the pro-Western monarchy and established a theocratic regime. This set the stage for Iran's decades-long confrontation with the US and its allies. But Iran was not always at odds with the West. Before the Islamic Revolution, Iran was ruled by the Pahlavi dynasty, with Shah Muhammad Reza Pahlavi at its helm. Backed by the United States and Britain, the Shah modernized Iran, implementing Western-style reforms, strengthening economic ties with the West, and positioning the country as a key US ally in the region. During his reign, Iran maintained strong diplomatic and economic relations with the US, supplying oil to Western markets and purchasing advanced military equipment from America. However, this close relationship came at a cost. The Shah's regime was seen as oppressive, riddled with corruption, and heavily reliant on Western support. His secret police, Savak, carried out brutal crackdowns on dissidents, fueling public resentment. The Shah's rule saw rapid industrialization, educational reforms, and a shift toward a more secular society. While these changes were welcomed by Western allies, many Iranians viewed them as an erosion of their traditional and religious values. By the late 1970s, the Shah's rule had become unsustainable. Massive protests, economic struggles, and widespread discontent led to his downfall. His departure marked the beginning of a new era under Ruhollah Khomeini and later Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, one in which Iran distanced itself from the West entirely. The 1979 Islamic Revolution completely transformed Iran's relationship with the West. With the Shah ousted and Ruhollah Khomeini leading the new Islamic Republic, Iran took an anti-West stance, expelling US influence and forging its own independent path. Since then, the West has repeatedly failed to bring Iran into its fold. Economic sanctions, military threats, and even nuclear deal negotiations have not been enough to alter Tehran's course. Unlike other West Asian or Middle Eastern nations that aligned with US interests, Iran has chosen defiance, investing in military capabilities, regional alliances, and self-reliance. Despite economic embargoes, cyber attacks, and assassination campaigns targeting its military and scientific figures, Iran has found ways to survive, strengthening ties with Russia, China, and regional players like Syria and Egypt. It also developed asymmetric warfare strategies using proxy forces and cyber capabilities to counter its adversaries. This resilience has made it one of the most difficult nations for the West to coerce or control. Today, Iran has a sophisticated network of alliances, economic partnerships, and military strategies that help it counter Western pressures. Whether through oil exports to China or leveraging the proxy forces it supports, Iran continues to find ways to survive and assert its influence.
Should be said to you and your audience. You know, Hezbollah, despite of the media, despite of the information which is released, is a political party. I try to clarify this for Indian at least, and all people in the region, at least in the region. 1.4 billion population of India is a big figure, and this clarification should be done for them.
That Hezbollah is a political party, it's not a militia, it uses guns.
I have served in Lebanon for 4 years. I have served as diplomat in Lebanon for 4 years. I have been in Central Asia, I have been in Moscow, different countries. I have served in Lebanon too. Hezbollah is a political party. It has representative in the parliament of Lebanon, like your party. Your party, those who have member in Luxembourg.
But it has its militias, sir. It has its armed militias.
I will explain. It has ministers in the cabinet minister of Lebanon.
It does.
It is a legal party.
But Lebanon does not have a government right now, Ambassador.
In Lebanon, just a minute,
yes.
just a minute. It's a sensitive issue, should be clarified for the audience to get to a clear result. I am here to clarify this. In Lebanon, there are Shia community, there are Sunni community, there are Maruni or Christian community, and there are Druze community. These four community have, because of the weakness of the government of Lebanon,
yes,
all have party, all have educational system by themselves, health system by themselves, and even they are obliged to have militia for defense of themselves. Even Christians community have, Samir Jaja is a Maruni, it has militia. No one criticized Christian, no one criticized Samir Jaja.
Because Hezbollah is using its weaponry to target Israel.
No.
Can you deny that?
No. Hezbollah is criticized because it is trying to liberate the occupied parts of Lebanon. Nowadays, Gajar village, Mazar Shab'a are under occupation of Israel. And Israel nowadays try to make a hub or a buffer zone inside in the south of Lebanon to, as it claims, to make Israel safe. So, Samir Jaja is affiliated to Israel, but and for this is not tagged terrorist. But Hezbollah is defending sovereignty of Lebanon, which is not on the benefit of Israel. So they tagged it as terrorist, and they tagged its militia as terrorist. So it could not be accepted. We believe that this is not the first time that Israel has threatened Iran. This is not the first time. And the assassination of General Soleimani, assassination of Ismail Haniyeh, loss of Hezbollah, Secretary General of Hezbollah, Hassan Nasrallah, are painful for Iran. But Our main concern is our national security, our national interest. Despite they are saying that they are accusing Iran that Iran is supporting its proxy. We do not have proxy. Of course, we support the resistance group. Resistance group is acceptable in all international law.
Which comes to the question, will Iran therefore find itself more isolated, be treated almost as a pariah state, not just by the West, but even by certain moderate Arab states who are worried that you are exporting this Shia, a kind of militant Shiaism across the region? Will Iran get more isolated as a result of what is happening? Are you worried, as Geeta said, are you being pushed into a corner increasingly?
We believe that our discourse has increased popularity of Iran in the region, across the world, and
even among moderate Arab countries?
Even among Arab countries.
Saudi Arabia has come out.
You should separate Arab state, statehood, statecraft, and people. Hassan Nasrallah, who now is called and tagged as terrorist after war 2006, 33 days war between Israel and Hezbollah, was the first man in the Arab world. According to the poll which was done by different, and even in the Western countries, all the popularity of Iran has increased. We do our discourse to defend oppressed people of Gaza, oppressed people of Palestine.
Even in the face of crippling sanctions, Iran has developed indigenous military technology, including ballistic missiles and drones, making it a formidable force in the region. The West's inability to control or influence Iran has made it one of the most unpredictable and enduring adversaries of modern geopolitics. The repeated attempts to isolate Iran have largely backfired, as Tehran has successfully adapted to each challenge. The failure of the 2015 nuclear deal, with the U.S. pulling out in 2018, only reinforced Iran's belief that the West cannot be trusted. As tensions flare once again, history reminds us that Iran is no stranger to confrontation with the West. Whether through military action, economic warfare, or diplomatic maneuvers, the U.S. and its allies have tried time and again to bring Tehran under control, to bring Tehran to its knees even. But Iran has always found a way to resist. Will this latest standoff at Diego Garcia lead to a new military conflict, or will diplomacy once again step in to prevent another war? History tells us Iran is a nation that refuses to bow. Thank you for watching Statecraft.